Welcome back. Our next guest spends 6 hours a day commuting to Dublin from Leitrim for work, all because she couldn't afford to buy a house in Dublin.
Hey, Martha Gilheaney joins us now alongside transport lecturer from Trinity College Dublin, Brian Caulfield. Good morning to you both. Hey, Mark, good morning to you. Let's talk to you about this commute, because you used to live in Dublin city centre. To get to work would took you about 6 minutes.
That's the round trip.
That was the round trip, right? Jeez, fair play. But you've now moved back home, or closer to home, in Leitrim, which means 3 days a week you have to get into college, and that's taking you 6 hours, 3 hours in, 3 hours back. What does that entail?
Well, that's the round trip, 6 hours. So I have to drive to the train station. I have to take the train, the Sligo train, into Dublin city centre, and then I have to walk.
Okay.
So it should take 3 hours. But it doesn't always take 3 hours. It often takes longer. Yeah,
but it was a choice because you couldn't afford to buy a house in Dublin like so many people, and you decided to move home.
Yes.
How has the practicalities been for you? Because there are so many people around the country going, right, I'm going to take the hit here and I'm going to move home to try to own a place.
Yeah. Well, I have a very positive attitude, and I have to stay positive about this commute, because if I didn't, I couldn't do it, you know?
Yeah.
It is possible and it's worth it, I think, in order to have my home. But there are a lot of things with public transport that just don't work well, that make it really difficult.
What are the things that you have noticed as now a regular commuter?
The main issue for me on the Sligo-Dublin line is that there aren't enough regular trains, which puts a lot of pressure on people that are commuting. So if you miss a train, you're waiting for an hour or 2 hours maybe for the next train. The trains coming back in the evening from Dublin towards Sligo, there's one at 5:05, and then the next one isn't until 7:30.
Wow.
So for anyone working until 5, which is a lot of people, they're waiting around an hour and a half for the next train home. So I don't get home until 10 or 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
So 5:05?
Yeah.
If you miss the 5:05 train, you have to wait until 7:30. Brian, we talked to you a lot about the frustrations with public transport. They're trying to encourage more people to not drive into the city, to take public transport. But if that's the sort of service available, no wonder people are driving or just not commuting at all.
Yeah, definitely. And the type of commute that Martha talks about is becoming much more regular. And we're seeing that in the data. We see that in the census data, that the distances and the times that people are spending in transport are increasing. I suppose, in fairness to Irish Rail and those that design transport for the Greater Dublin area, they don't assume that, Leitrim, Sligo, Rail, that's part of the commuter zone. But the unfortunate thing is it is, because of the dual crisis that we have in both housing and in transport. And that's resulting in this happening. And it's resulting in your students and my students travelling much longer distances to get into their classes in the morning.
Is the train busy?
Yeah, it's very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this a thing that obviously things have to be cost effective? We've seen for years in an awful lot of our transport that we were plugging holes because, people weren't using it enough. Now it does feel, like, Brian, you might be able to tell us the figures on this, that trains are getting busier, purely, population growth.
Through population growth, I think last year we had the highest number of people use public transport ever in this country, and we can't deliver public transport quick enough in our country right now, and we can see the causes of that.
So we talk about this, the student that has to fly from Donegal to Dublin in order to go to college, which is just so depressing. We've talked about these students that have to live in their cars, can't get places to live, they're commuting, like you're commuting, and they're college students. What do we need to do here, Brian? Is there an issue with everything being centralised in Dublin? Like, for example, that, there's so many people coming here. What do we need to be doing?
Yeah, well, as I said, it's a dual crisis in terms of housing and in terms of transport. I think in terms of students, I think the universities, and we're starting to see this happen a bit, they need to be providing more on-campus accommodation. We see that with UCD, Trinity are trying to increase their amount of accommodation as well. So I think that's one of the things that we could do, and that would take an awful lot of pressure off of the rental sector for other people that are living in the city. They have reduced the cost of public transport, but that's cold comfort to a student, that's maybe waiting because they can't get onto a bus or a train. And I've only one lecture a week that's on at 9 o'clock in the morning. The rest are scheduled later. And that morning, I never have a full cohort at 9 o'clock because they're travelling long distances to get in. Yeah.
Wow.
Or hungover the night before, no?
Not engineering
Of course
students
not.
in Trinity. No.
But like the Department of Transport have said that they have invested 31 million in funding to secure for rural transport provision in 2026, and this is a 38% increase. But are there question marks where this money is going, Brian, and if it's actually making a difference?
It's a drop in the ocean. 31 million, was it? Yeah.
31 million, yeah.
That's a drop in the ocean compared to the amount of, we have been investing in public transport in rural Ireland or anywhere in Ireland for decades. So, 31 million is a sticking plaster. There are, in fairness, Connecting Ireland is a fantastic service, and it is increasing. And the only thing that we found with that is when we put in more of these bus services, people are willing to use them. People want them. So we need much more investment in that sector.
And 71% of all trips in this country are by private car. Right, so we're still stuck to the car. Why? Like, is this more?
You have to be, because the public service isn't good enough.
I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing. I just think it's mad. We're not living, we did leave our rail network. We just forgot about it for decades, 100%. So for you, is it more cost effective?
It's
in order to be in the train.
Yeah, it's more
driving.
cost effective. It's less tiring.
Okay.
And I feel even with the delays, maybe it's more reliable. I'm not dealing with traffic. For my work, the time I have to be in, I have to be there.
Yeah.
If I was having to plan for what might happen on the roads coming into the city centre, that would be extremely stressful.
What would a full day be for you? What's the timings of it?
It varies a lot. So it could be 9 till 5. It could be...
But in terms of for your commute, including that, what time are you leaving home? What time are you getting home at?
So, for example, one day that I do this week, I leave my house at 10 to 7. And and I get home at 10 o'clock or 10:30 that night.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I'm still having to arrive at work maybe 2 hours before work because there's no train closer to my start time.
And on your train, you said it's busy. Are you seeing people commute in the way that you do?
Yes. Yeah, the morning train's actually very nice. Everyone's there drinking their coffee, having their breakfasts, planning for their work days. It's very busy, and you can see that everyone's going to work and college on those 2 morning trains.
Is it sustainable? Are you glad you made the move back home out of Dublin?
It has to be sustainable. There's no college in Leitrim, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
So yes, I am.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. I'm sure there's some people at home who are shouting, well, isn't it great that there is a train to Dublin? But we don't have one, and we don't have this, and we don't have that, which I completely understand. We'd love to hear from you. 089 111 111 about Connecting Ireland, how it's going for you when it comes to public transport in your area.
Or can you beat a 6-hour commute? Because that's pretty damn impressive. Martha Gilheaney, thank you so much for joining us. And Brian Caulfield from Trinity College Dublin. As always, great to have you with us, Brian.
Alan, what we got coming up next?
Well, Miriam, with recent research showing that 54% of adults believe children should start receiving pocket money by the age of 9, we asked the question, is it ever too early to learn about personal finance? Let us know your thoughts on this. WhatsApp us on 089 611 111, and we'll see you after this quick break.